Good morning, everyone. It's me. Kae Pea. I'm here in my studio, The Moon and the Maker, and I'm here for day number 24 of World Watercolor Month. I am once again super excited and honored to be here with you all, playing in the watercolors. So let me turn on the light because I forgot to do that. I also, so sorry, I'm not all the way ready yet. Time has really flown by this morning, and I need to cut my paper because I have some small sheets of paper here, but they're 140 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my paper, and I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Unprepared. Good morning, Dana. Good to see you. I hope you're getting a chance to play with your goodies. I can't wait to see some of your some of your paintings and creations that you make. Whenever, hopefully, you'll feel like sharing them when you do. I would love to see what you're making. Anyway, so today, well, there's a couple things. I have been doing a lot of playing with color wheels and making little color charts, and just finally, because as many of you know, I have the golden color chart. I don't have it here in front of me. I thought I had one, but I can't reach it. Anyway, it's one thing to have the color chart that shows you all the colors, but it's another thing to actually paint them all out. And it's really been super inspiring for me just to go through and make a bunch of random color swatches and little color wheels, mixing the colors that I've chosen. And as many of you know, and you've seen me doodle, I do a lot of things like this just to drop in color and kind of see what kind of mixtures you can get and what kind of organic shapes. So if you even have anything laying around your studio that has little color splotches, color wheels, color dots, color blobs, then make sure you save all those, because even your little experiments can definitely turn into something fun. And so today I'm just going to kind of show you how I made this fun card, and some stuff you can do to do some resisting. And then tomorrow we are going to experiment with making color wheels, okay? Small little color wheels. So today I just want you to make yourself some little blobs. And so this is on 140 pound paper. Okay, so I have a few little sheets here. And again, I just have these cut to the 3x4 size, but please, use whatever you feel comfortable with or whatever you have laying around. And then I would just recommend maybe choosing, 3 or maybe 5 colors, and squeezing some of those out on your palette, or choosing from your palette. And then, of course, again, with the fresh, clean water, okay, get yourself a couple. I always have 2 buckets of water or bowls of water on my table. One for rinsing first, and then once for cleaning, for cleaning it all the way out. So you want to have your clean, fresh water. And then you're just going to choose a couple of colors, okay, or a few colors. So I am going to use a few of the colors that are in this palette, since I already have it open and ready, and I like the colors. I also do have my handy little porcelain flower palette. And you know that I love opera pink, so I go into this quite often also. But for now, we'll just do a few little of the blobs we like to make, and you can just have fun. They do not have to be perfect circles by any means. And of course, depending, like if you were going to make this into a card the way I've done here, and of course the sizes are a little bit different, then you'd maybe want to sort of try to figure out what sizes that you want to do. Or do you want to write something in one of the circles? Do you want to stamp or color or, draw? So you could make your blobs, to the size that you think you might be working in. Or again, maybe you're not making these specifically for this project. You're just playing and having fun, and you end up with some papers laying around your studio that are like this. And then, of course, if you want to drop in some color to make some different sort of gradients or just give them a little bit more interest, you could definitely do that. So here I have my transparent Chiral orange. I just dropped a little bit of the, you know me, I can't ever remember the colors that are in here. I should already, but this one is Chiral Red Medium. So maybe you want to, make some fun color variations. Again, this color, this is the phthalo blue green shade, and it's pretty strong. So if you don't want it to be super dark, then you want to work in washes. So just however you want to play and have fun. If you wanted to make these, monochromatic, if you wanted to make them rainbow, if you wanted to make them all in earth tones, whatever floats your creative boat is what you should definitely do. And you can get some really beautiful, patterning in there just by happy accident. And you can keep playing with them or not. You can do stuff like this and then just leave it and see what happens. All this is up to your sort of creative process, and whatever magic happens at your fingertips is, the way that it'll go. Anyway, you get the idea for that. I'll do one more here just to have that. Just to have maybe another little option. It's so funny because I've sort of been trying to get away from the rainbowy colors. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, life isn't all rainbows. Maybe I should go to a more earthy, softer color palette, but I can't help it. These are always the colors that I'm really, really drawn to. So I guess it's just going to be the way it is. And that's okay. I love rainbows, and I'll probably never stop. All right. So anyway, you have some random fun circular blobs, or you can make whatever shapes you really want. So now we're going to go ahead. This is my 300-pound cold press watercolor paper. And I'm going to take some crayon. I have a clear crayon that actually my friend Tracy Kincaid made me a whole bunch of these that are just like paraffin sticks. Those will work great. Sometimes you can find an actual clear crayon, or you could actually use colored crayons or white crayons, okay? I'm going to go ahead and just stick with my clear ones right now. I think I'll try this one that my friend Tracy made me. It has like a nice point to it. And then you can just randomly draw or doodle. Now, it's kind of tricky just because, of course, you can't really see what you're doing. So you just want to, maybe give some fun you know, scratchy sort of organic shapes, lines. It'll be a big surprise when you paint over the top because that is going to resist the water. And then I'm just going to go in again. Of course, I am going to be using my brights. And remember too, if I use like a really pale yellow or something like that, it may not show up as well. So, you know, I want to keep my colors just maybe a little bit deeper. And a lot of times, unless you draw really super hard, you won't necessarily get a real crisp line, but you will see it starting to show up there. You might have to make a couple passes across the top with your water. And again, sort of the darker the value, but I don't want it to be really, really dark, but the darker I do it, the more it will show up. And I am going to mix up a green just because I don't really want, the only thing I have here is like an olivey green, and I would rather have sort of a fun bright green. So I'm mixing a little bit of my teal with some of my nickel, is it nickel yellow? Oh, cadmium yellow primrose, sorry. I'm sure as soon as World Watercolor Month is over is when I will start remembering the names of the colors. So I like it because it is a little bit, you know, fuzzy. It almost looks a little bit batik-y. Is that even a word? Batik-y. And I'm going to bring in some of my opera pink because I can't stand to not have any. And I think like your cadmium orange and opera pink is a really pretty combination. It makes sort of a peachy sherbet color. Sherbet. So I'm just mixing up a little extra color in my dish over here. I want a little bit of darker blue, but I don't want it so strong. So I'm just knocking it back a little bit. All right, I got a little bit of bleeding, but that's okay. I'll let that dry. And then I can also blot just a little bit because if you can see some of the watercolor is sort of sitting on top of the crayon. And so I'm just, oops, I'm going to, I'm not doing it right. I'm wiping it with a baby wipe, and I wanted to wipe it with a paper towel. So sorry about that. I'm not actually wiping it. I just want to blot it a little bit and try to get some of that color that's sitting on the crayon to come off, but it's being stubborn. All right, so I'll let that dry for a minute. You can see here on this one, I think I either actually used a white crayon or I don't know though. I don't think so. I think this was clear crayon, and I drew maybe just a little bit harder. And also, this was on 140-pound paper, not 300. So I probably should have used a little bit more pressure, but it's okay. Still got some decent resist. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll pull these guys out, and hopefully a couple of these are not quite dry enough. So I'm gonna blot them with a paper towel, and then I'll hit them with the blow dryer just for a second. Again, for the sake of demoing. Sorry about this. Again, I don't like to blow dry my watercolors, and I would not do that if it wasn't for a demo. If I was doing this to, make a card or a painting for someone, I would definitely just walk away and let it dry really well and come back to it later. So now is where you can decide, first of all, if you would like to write over the top or doodle, especially if you enjoy like Zentangling, or if you just like to doodle or draw little images, that is fantastic. Or of course, you could have fun and stamp inside some of these. And it can overhang. And of course, if you want to doodle on top, again, I would really make sure they're good and dry. And then I would use probably a micron or like a Pitt pen or your favorite sort of permanent black. Well, it doesn't have to be black, of course, but your favorite permanent marker, or you could even use a paint marker if you wanted to go with like an acrylic paint and then turn it into a little bit more of a mixed media piece, I guess. So now, of course, we're just going to cut those out. And again, this would be where you would decide, do you want to cut them out right up to the actual outline of, of your blob, or do you want to leave some little white space? If you leave white space, it's kind of fun because then you could doodle that in with a little bit of paint. And this one, of course, I wouldn't go right up to the edge just because the actual stamp overhangs my border, I guess you would call it. And then you can use this as your backdrop. And of course, plop those babies on wherever you see fit. And you have a really cute little card or composition. I don't have any greeting cards here. I just have this sort of folded over piece of watercolor paper, but of course I could just plop that right on there. And of course, it kind of goes without saying that I would want to stick these down. So I would want to glue everything together. Or of course you could use, permanent tape runner, or if you wanted to pop some of these up and have them be, oops, my hand is right in the way, right? If you wanted to pop some of these up and have them a little more dimensional, foam, some 3D foam tape or something like that. So voila, you have day number 24. This would also make a great journal page, by the way. So I'm going to stop for just a moment and check out the comments, say hello to you all, and see how you're doing. And if you have any questions at all, Jan says you can also stamp and clear emboss on the background if you don't have a white crayon, especially the RubberMoon background stamp. So yes, clear embossing also is a great resist. That's and just I don't do a lot of embossing. I thought about sharing that, and it's a great idea because it's fast and it works really well. You would actually, if you stamped and you embossed in clear embossing powder, you would probably get a crisper image than what I got here. So maybe we'll show that one of the days. We still have what, like, yeah, the heat gun is really noisy too. I guess I could, I don't know though, for some people might not really, know embossing if they're new sort of to stamping. So, and I know this looks so unsightly over here now. Here, we'll try to hide all my blobs. There we go. Here, we'll do it like this. Anyway, so let's see. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me again for watercolor day number 24. Like I said, we have another week. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you'd like to see that I haven't shown, please share that and I will be happy to try my best to bring that to you. I do have a couple more things for sure that I want to share and show, but I will have 5 days now that I'm kind of like, oh, what can I do next? Not so much for joining us. And I don't know if you've been here with us other days, but I really appreciate it. Jan, good to see you here this morning. I hope all your fur babies are good. Mr. Moon is still not feeling the best. He is a little bit better today than he was. So we're hoping he's on the mend now. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Puff is in her new house. Congratulations. Yay. I'm so excited. I hope your studio will be one of the first things you get together. Dana, thank you so much for being with me every day. I hope you know how much I appreciate it. And Becky, I'm glad you liked today's project. It would be a fun one for you to do while you're trying to beat this heat. And it's a quick one. So let's see what you all are watercoloring this month. Please feel free to share. You can share in our private group or you can share on the Let's Get Makey page, wherever you feel inspired. I would love to see what you're doing. So thank you all again so much. I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time zone, same place, same channel. Thanks again and love you to the moon and back. See you later.